Chris, we met you last night in Bantry. We're now on the Sheepshead Peninsula, and you spoke last night about how your neck was giving you trouble. You've unfortunate news for us today.
Yeah, having reached the top of this final climb, whatever it's called, looking at the descent behind me, the way my neck is, it's just ridiculous. For me to get down there, I have to sort of go like this and use the wind in my face to hold my head up, because I just end up looking at the road and I can't see and I can't brake safely. I could keep going, but it would just be macho bullshit, and so I've had word with Adrian and decided this is the end of my race. I think I've proved enough, if that's the word. I didn't really come here to prove anything. I came here to have an adventure, and I've certainly had that. And so there's no regrets. And I'll be back next year to see if do the full lap. But I've done 90% of it or more. Way more, actually. Shed loads of it. Done shed loads of it. So yeah. So I scratched at the final peak.
So now you're just waiting to get picked up, essentially. What? You're going to sit here for the next couple of hours. What are you going to do? Just look at the view?
Yeah, because I've been riding along, not looking at the view. I've been looking at the road. I go, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. I've taken a few photos, but you know.
What's the next plan for you after the race?
Just recuperate, find out more about Shermer's neck. James Hayden pulled out the TCR with Shermer's neck. I'm going to have a word with him, see what he's done. I had some neck troubles training, and went to did some stuff with my chiropractor, read up about it online, and obviously it's one of these issues. We're not built to sit on a push bike with a head up like this for days on end. It's not, and I've only been cycling seriously since last September. So
really?
Yeah.
Well, your achievement is even more phenomenal. It was already phenomenal. It's even more phenomenal now. It's been amazing, Chris, to watch you over the last couple of days. I'm so sorry it's come to this, but thank you very much for showing us that this can happen. And even the achievement from when we spoke to you last night, because we're about probably 150 to 200 kilometres further along the road, and it's a pretty windy up and down road. This climb that you just made up is phenomenal. Huge kudos for attempting to keep going, and I think even more kudos, I think it's important to stress this, huge kudos for making the decision yourself that it just wasn't right. As you said, you could probably have finished this event, but it might not be safe, and given the events of earlier in the year, I think it's
yeah, well, that particularly, and I shed a few cheers for Mike Hall a long way on this race. So I was really hoping to meet him. I've watched videos of him. He's been inspirational for this sport, and even when I was watching the Indy Pack, I was like, well, something might happen with these events, because they're just a little bit wild, which is obviously the appeal, but there has to be a balance. So I think me stopping is a balance.
Would today's events and even Mike Hall's situation, would that ever stop you from doing something like this again in the future?
No, not at all. That's the appeal. I don't want it to be. I'm not interested in supported cycle racing and riding great pelotons and teams and all this sort of stuff. The appeal of this is that it's so free spirited. But I think if we want to run free spirited races, we have to know when to stop. And that's the thing. We have to be, as racers, we have to have the personal responsibility to say enough's enough, and not to carry on regardless and get the crazy head on, because it's just a race, and it's not, there's no prize. You're doing it to just have a different experience from your normal daily life. You get to live a day after day after day, no compromise, just doing everything you can, and you meet fantastic people all along the way, and you discover things about yourself that you never knew, and it's just brilliant. It's not about the racing, it's about getting out a bunch of people and doing this sort of thing. You can do it on your own, but it's better if there's a group of you. It'd probably be better if there wasn't times posted at the end about who did what in how many days. we should all be winners. Even the people that scratched on day one, they found out something by making that choice on day one. It wasn't for them. Fair enough. That's what you learn.
I think that's been a pretty good insight into what goes through the head of someone who's scratching. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us at a pretty difficult period, and best of luck. And we'll see you back in Cork for a pint later on.
Oh yeah.